So I'm making this video in hopes that you guys can help me make my decision or help me make a decision on which auto insurance I should select. So I currently have USA auto insurance. I've had them for about 12 or 13 years, never had a problem with them. Their customer service is great. I've maybe filed 2 claims, once when I was like a teenager, my very first car, I had hail damage, and most recently I've had to replace the windshield twice. So really I've not had any accidents that have been my fault. Never had to file any claims, and just except for those 2 minor ones. And then overall, I've had several tickets, in my 20s, and most recently, I probably haven't had one in about 2.5 years or so. So I don't have a perfect driving record, but by all means, I have had some. So currently, right now, with my USA auto insurance, I'm paying, and I'll be looking down a few times because I have it all written down in front of me as a comparison. So currently, right now, what I'm paying for a 6-month premium with USA auto insurance, which does include a comprehensive and collision at $1,000 deductible. I also have bodily injury at $2040, and I have property of $50,000. So I've waived all of the medical, all of the injury, the uninsured medical. So because I've been told by somebody who does insurance that really if you already have it coming out of your work pay, your insurance through your job, that's just kind of like double paying for it. So if you know otherwise, please let me know, but I've removed all of those because as of probably January or February of this year, my auto insurance with USAA had almost gone up to $930. So it's usually always been in about a $500 to $600 range, and when it jumped up to $900, I had it. So since then, I've been griping and groaning, kind of looking around to see, but nobody could really compare or match to what USAA had. And anybody who tried to lure me away, once you tell them you have USA auto insurance, they pretty much go, so sorry, we can't even help you because they're like the best. And so I kind of just took that for face value of what people have told me. But moving forward, I saw a YouTube ad that you see at the beginning before a video plays called Root Insurance. And they are kind of like a new startup company, and they are all about trying to make sure that they give quotes to the good drivers only, because if they're quoting people who have a bad driving record or are more liable to get or more likely to get into an accident, they have to pay out deductibles. So their philosophy or their mindset is only give quotes to people who have good driving, so everybody gets lower insurance. Makes sense, right? Or at least you would think so. And what I did was I downloaded their app, and you can get it from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And I downloaded it, and you have to wait about 3 to 4 weeks of driving, which sounds like a long time, and it was. Trust me, I was trying to remember to always turn on my GPS as I drove to work. I tried to make sure that I was always on my P's and Q's every time I was driving because, I wanted a better rate. But luckily, I only live about 3 miles from where I work. And so the commute back and forth, I really don't do that much driving. So I'm very fortunate in that sense. And then overall, after about 3 to 4 weeks of driving around with that app, they will give you a quote. Or, I mean, sorry, not will give you. They could give you a quote if you're a good driver. Luckily, I did get a quote. So to kind of cut to the chase, will Root Insurance save you money, and will it save you money comparison to USA Auto Insurance? Yes, it will. So what I noticed was that they will give you a quote, and I'll kind of show you some screenshots of what the app looks like, as well as what were the price comparisons. And I did make sure that I matched them exactly with what I have currently with USA Auto Insurance, because I wanted to make sure that the rate and what I was getting was kind of equal or to the same, if not better. So I will show you what I got from Root was a quote of $130 or so a month. Actually, it was $137 a month. Currently, right now, I believe I'm paying about $130 something with USA Auto Insurance. So they have me at USA Auto Insurance right now at $665 is my premium for 6 months. Root Insurance, they will give you, they'll do it at a month-to-month basis on $137. But if you go with their 6-month plan, this is kind of where they start to save you money. So if you go to their lowest package, you can get what's like the state minimum requirement. And that, by all means, of course, that's going to be way cheaper than what you're paying if you're paying for full coverage, because it's going to be the bare bones of nothing. But I can't have that because I have kind of a fairly new car. I have a 2017 car. and I took out about a $25,000 loan on it, so I'm only about halfway done paying it off. So I believe I have to have full coverage while I still have that loan. But let's see. So okay, so they gave me a quote for a 6-month premium for $639. So it is about $30 to $40 cheaper to do a 6-month premium comparison to USAA, but it's about a $30 difference in comparison to $137 every month. And if you take it down to $639 for a 6-month plan, it comes out to $103 or maybe some change left over for each month. So it's much cheaper to do a 6-month plan to buy it all up at once with Root. And like I said, if I'm paying $130 now, I can get it down to $100 a month with Root with the same coverage. I think the only difference besides paying the $1,000 deductible, the 2040 bodily injury, theirs was actually $2,550, so you get actually a little bit more for your bodily injury liability, and kept the property at the same, $50,000. They have rental, tow, labor. What's kind of cool about them though, they actually do have a rental. Like if you have to get in an, or not if you have to, but if you get in an accident and you have rental, so then instead of going out and getting a rental car, they actually will partner, or they have it like where you can go get like a Lyft or an Uber. So that way you can use that instead of actually getting a rental car, which is kind of neat that they partnered with them, or they have kind of a program with that. They also have full windshield and glass, which is great because out here in Arizona, apparently that seems to be a thing out here where a lot of people like to have their windshields hit by rocks out here because it's so deserty. And let's see. So the other concern I had with USAA was at the very bottom, after you get done getting your premium with them, they have what's called a premium with the savings. And so, for example, my current rate right now is $665 for a 6-month premium. They have me at a premium without all my savings of $1,169. What they dropped $411 for is USAA likes to give us what's called a multi-product discount, a long-term member discount, a good driving discount, and a good pay history discount. So I get $400 off of my premium to get to the $665. The part that bothers me is that with Root Insurance, I don't have to have any of those. I don't have to be a long-term member. I don't have to have multi-product, and they're still able to make it $35 something less than what USAA is giving me. So, is it cheaper? Yes. I'm kind of considering going to Root simply just because they just seem to be a little bit more upfront with all of their billing, all of their, especially their cost. It's cost saving as well. I mean, hey, $30 is $30, but it's cheaper if everything is equal to the same and I get everything the same, if not maybe even more for my coverage. So here's the catch, and this is why I'm a little concerned with going and starting a brand new company. So with USAA auto insurance, you do get what's called accident forgiveness. Accident forgiveness you can get once you hit 5 years of good driving, not filing any claims. So as I've said, I've had them for about 12 years, 13 years, and I've never had to file a claim. So I have accident forgiveness on my current insurance plan as it is right now. So that's what concerns me, is that if I start with a new company, if I get in an accident, that rate could skyrocket. And who knows how high, because I don't have accident forgiveness. So I'm kind of asking everybody, what are your thoughts? What do you think as far as if I should switch, not switch? And I wish I had known that if you take the 30-day or 3 to 4 week trial of your driving test, that you could get $25 for just doing the test drive, because I would have preferred to use somebody's link so that way I could get $25 for my time, and I guess that person as well. So what I'll do is, if anybody is interested in trying to save some auto insurance in your area, because I don't think they're in every state, I think they're only like maybe 10 or 15 states, by all means, if you want to, you can use the link below to get the app as well, and then that way you can at least get paid for your driving, test driving, because I sure didn't. But just even doing the test driving and having it on my account or on my app, my cell phone as an app for about 30 days, I can say that it did pay off in a weird way. So the day before I was about to get my quote, It's kind of weird. And so like the day before I was about to get my quote, I did get pulled over by a cop, and I got pulled over for not having my registration updated. So I was about a month behind on my registration, and when the officer pulled me over, he comes up to my window as I'm driving into work, and he says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I told him, I said, "Well, I do know you did not pull me over for speeding because I'm doing the Root Insurance app right now, and I'm trying to do my test driving, and I'm trying to be like on my A game right now." I said, "So I know it wasn't speeding." And he immediately knew what I was talking about, and he goes, "Oh, I know what you're talking about, where you have to watch your braking and your turns and your how hard you hit on the gas pedal." I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing." And so he said, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." And he goes, "No, I didn't pull you over for speeding. I pulled you over because your registration." And I said, "Listen, if you give me a ticket right now, this is definitely going to mess up my new quote." I said, "I'm trying to save some money here." And he goes, "Okay, hold on one second." And he goes back to his SUV, and then he comes back and he goes, "All right, here's just a warning. Get it fixed." So I really lucked out. So if anything, Root Insurance may have gotten me out of a ticket actually during that 30-day trial. So it's kind of already, not only is it saving me money, but it got me out of a ticket. So that's kind of awesome. I was definitely not expecting that. But let me kind of show you guys the the app itself and some of the screenshots I took during that time. And okay, so when you download it, it's going to kind of look something like this. Let me see if I can make sure there's not a glare in it. So something like this. And I took this screenshot on the 4 to 7 day mark. It's going to have a reflection of my laptop. But anyways, like the 4 to 7 day mark. And it basically, you have to have your GPS on. It's going to monitor, where you're driving and what you're doing. And it's going to keep counting down the days until you get to your quote. And then as far as it'll actually start giving you how many drives out of your drives that you were good, or how many good drives you did that were actually good. So I had 10 out of 10 right from the start, which is, I guess they give you points right from the beginning as soon as you hit the 10 drive mark, because I guess the app knows once you've hit 10 drives around the town. And about 2 weeks in, I took this screenshot of kind of where I was gauging on the braking, consistency, safe hours, and turning. So you can kind of maybe compare if you end up doing it yourself, kind of where you're falling in line with. And then, oops, let's drop my phone. By the way, this phone is amazing. The new Note 9, love it. It is just, the screen is so big and it's so bright and the battery lasts forever. Okay, and then so right towards the end of my 30 days, this is kind of where I guess, this way, kind of fell in line with my final stats of what it kind of looked like with all my braking, safe hours, turning, and consistency. And then here are the rates they gave me. So you can see right with the very top, or the second to the top, is just liability, I believe. Your state minimum requirements, they gave me 60, 132 for great. I think that's kind of without I don't think that includes the rental. And then the fantastic means like a $500 deductible, and everything else is just, kind of what the same coverage I currently have. So the custom one is the one I built to make it match exactly what USAA had. So I wanted to kind of compare, to make sure I am doing it correctly. So once you have your monthly rate, you flash over to, slide over at the top, and you change it to a 6-month plan, and it gives it to you in a breakdown for, there it goes, so for 6 months. And at the very top will be, it goes in the same order as before. So like I said, it's $639 would be for Roots. And I don't know how long they're actually able to hold the quote for, so I don't know. I'm hoping I can get some responses, some of y'all's thoughts. Let me know what you think, if I should or shouldn't go, and I'll be checking the comments and any responses I get to kind of maybe help me in my decision on which one I should do. Thank you guys for your time, and once again, like I said, I'll put the link below if you guys want to try it yourself. All right, thanks guys, bye.